Greetings, Ben Murray here with another edition of SaaS Metrics School. Today, talking about a common financial trait of EBITDA positive SaaS companies. And this is from my experience helping SaaS companies as either a coach or a fractional CFO. So, just on that job experience, seeing a lot of SaaS companies, their financial profiles, all their metrics. And there's one common financial trait that I see in just my experience that usually results in positive EBITDA or just a nice cash flow SaaS business, and that's org efficiency. And so, org efficiency, that's where we're looking at our employee base plus our contractor base and how efficient is our organization in generating revenue and generating profitability. And this is so important because when we look at a SaaS P&L, maybe 70 to 80% of the investment in a SaaS P&L is people and contractors. So just people in general. Wages, taxes, benefits, bonus, and commissions make up most of the expense on a SaaS P&L. And it's really important to understand the efficiency of that spend. So there are two common metrics. Well, one common metric, revenue per FTE, and then I created the ROSE metric, which is another org efficiency metric. And revenue per FTE gets thrown around a lot in social media posts, and to be honest, in the past, I didn't really pay too much attention to revenue per FTE because I was looking at so many other metrics. But now that I've had tons of reps with SaaS companies, it does come out that those positive EBITDA, those very consistent cash flow companies have a nice revenue per FTE number and a nice ROSE metric. Of course, there's so many variables here that can impact this. So it's not always true, but it's coming up more and more as I help SaaS companies that good org efficiency does result in nice cash flow and positive EBITDA. Of course, there are haters of EBITDA, but in the SaaS world, we just have to get used to it that we're going to always speak the EBITDA language, especially in the PE setting. So revenue per FTE, of course, is just total revenue divided by the number of full-time equivalents. Of course, we should include contractors. If we have significant contractors in our business, we should include contractors as well. Otherwise, we're going to overstate our revenue per FTE number. And generally, what I see is for those nice cash flowing SaaS businesses that they're generating revenue per FTE above 200, usually around 250 and above for a revenue per FTE number. Now, of course, a lot of variables here that may not always hold true, but generally I see this above 200K. Then the ROSE metric. I created this because I think this is more accurate than revenue per FTE because what's that FTE based number? Are we calculating FTEs? Are we including contractors? So the ROSE metric, we don't have to use full-time equivalents or contractors. We just look at the spend in employee wages, taxes, benefits, bonus commissions, and then also that contractor spend, right? Because really, does it matter if I have two FTEs, one FTE, five FTEs? I think it matters how much we're investing in those FTEs. Are we investing 100,000, 50,000, 200,000? And what's that return on that investment, that spend in employees and contractors? And what we end up with the ROSE metric is recurring revenue generated for every dollar of investment in employees and contractors. And it's more accurate than the revenue per FTE. And it's really an eye opener. I suggest you calculate this for the last 36 months in your SaaS business, and you'll see how it changes, how it goes up and down. And so if you are struggling with being positive cash flow, positive EBITDA, I would definitely calculate revenue per FTE, ROSE metric, and then also forecast these metrics and see where that's trending. Because if you are struggling with cash, trying to improve your cash balance, we need to see those metrics on a chart moving up and to the right. If they're not, it's going to be very difficult to improve your cash situation. Because why? Because look at our P&L. Most of our investment, the majority of our investment is in people. So org efficiency, I feel like, is just not used well within SaaS companies. We see a lot of these revenue per FTE benchmarks out there. It's kind of eye candy in social media, but we really have to put this in place and also put in place the ROSE metric in our SaaS business. And it's one of those key metrics that I use for SaaS companies, as well as it just seems like those nice cash flow businesses have a nice revenue per FTE, ROSE metric number, and then we're tracking that, forecasting that number to make sure we understand where it's going in our business. So a little bit, just, this is kind of anecdotal, a little bit backed up by numbers of just something that kind of a recurring pattern that I see of those nice cash flow businesses.